This call is being recorded.
Shalom alaikum. We're going to record our daily bread today that we usually do in private. For some reason, I'm going to record it because this is going to be historical. It already is historical, but it must be recorded because I'm going to reveal some secrets that have never been recorded or revealed before. Not even in the book that they call the Bible. It's going to be taken out of the Bible, but they don't have in the Bible what I'm going to reveal. That's why it was sealed. It's cryptic. So for the record of this recording, just in case, we need record of it in the future, if something's going to happen. And that way, if I record it today, if we give the day's date when it happens, then that way no one can say I made it up, or I faked it, or I stole it. So today's date by our calendar first is the solar calendar. And I want you to make a note of this and write it down as the 23rd day of the 5th month. The 23rd day of the 5th month, at sundown, which is Friday now. At sundown tonight, Friday, will be the beginning of the 24th day of the 5th month. You got to make a record of this because we're approaching the 7th month. So now when you take this at sundown to become the 24th day of the 5th month, that should take you somewhere around August. That's what, 7 more days, 6 to 7 more days. Right? Which will be what on the calendar? August what? 6 to 7 more days. August 7th. At sundown. That means August 7th at sundown will be the beginning of the first day of the 6th month. That's going to take you, make a note, that's going to take you to September 7th, Sunday. It's going to take you to Sunday, September 7th. And because last year was a leap year, we already added a day. You already added a day, so we took away a day. We are still in the same frame of time as after leaving a leap year last year. Remember, they have a leap year every 4 years, a leap year. And then every, 4 times 7, 28 years, starting over again. So at sundown Sunday, September 7th, will be the beginning of the 7th month, right? Wrong. Why? You got to get this now. I never revealed this before. I'm going to take you back to Hebrews 7:14. So go to your Bibles. You're going to need of course, you need your Bible, right? And you're going to go to Hebrews chapter 7. Before you do that, though, let's do this. Before you go to Hebrews, go to Luke, because that's the gospel. Go to Luke chapter 3. And what days are we living in now? What book and chapter?
24.
Okay, let me remind you that this has been recorded. This has been recorded. So here's where you show in the world, you show your wisdom and your sharpness of what you learn, or what you're reminded of. So I'm going to ask the question again. Where are we living now in prophecy in the Bible?
Matthew 24.
Matthew 24. Exactly. So, and some of what I revealed today is going to come out of Matthew 24. Well, a lot of it is. But look at Luke chapter 3 first. And as I quote verse 23. In fact, we have a reader. And just as we do now, we just decide to invite the world if we decide to share this on what we do in private here. So we're going to follow the same order. And I want you to speak loud because the microphone is facing my direction. You have your back to it. It's where it has its back to you. You can even pull your chair around if you want to. All right, speak nice and loud. Matthew, verse 23.
And Christ himself began to be about 30 years of age, being as was supposed the son of Jesse.
Now you see
Joseph,
how.
excuse me.
Yeah, you got to. Which was what?
Which was the son of Heli.
All right, now I forget you're a reader. We get to the son of Jesse in a minute. But you see in parentheses, they have as was supposed. Why? Because the theologians of the world know that the Christ did not have a father on this planet, or Abba, should you prefer, named Joseph. If you go to other Gospels, the other three, Matthew, Mark, and John, you'll see a lot of verses that says and call him the son of David. Thou son of David. And also the son of Jesse, since you jumped up there. But here in parentheses they have as supposed. That's the same thing that happened back then, that happened today, the same thing happened today that happened back then. The answer was supposed. The son of Joseph. Now go down. All of this is genealogy. This is the chronological order of sons and fathers, going backward, starting from verse 23, going back at the time. Right? Chronicles, chronological order of sons and fathers, son of. And it's going to take you eventually to verse 38. But before you get to verse 38, go to verse 29. Read that.
Which was the son of Jose.
What is Jose doing here, which is a Spanish name in the Bible among Hebrew Israelites? They added that's redacted. There is no Hebrew Israelite in any chronicles whose name is Jose. So we're going to use it as host. Right? Even Yos. We're going to use you're going to use it as Yos. The son of Yos, which was the son of Eliezer. Keep reading.
Which was the son of Eleazar, which was the son of Jorim, which was the son of Mathat, which was the son of Levi.
Keep reading. 30.
Which was the son of Simeon, which was the son of Judah, which was the son of Joseph, which was the son of Yonan, which was the son of Eliakim.
Okay, now you have in this verse 30, you have someone with the son of Judah. And here you see it's spelled in English with a J, Juda, Judah. They're going down and read verse 33.
Which was the son of Aminadab, which was the son of Aram, which was the son of Esrom, which was the son of Phares, which was the son of Judah.
Here we have Judah, like Judah is all over the Bible and Chronicles. And let's see who this Judah is. Read 34.
Which was the son of Jacob, which was the son of Isaac, which was the son of Abraham.
Now we have here, as we pause in 34, we have Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Now we have Judah with J. And what do you see here in 34, in verse 34? And the same as in verse 30. In verse 30 and 34, or actually 33. In verse 30 and 33, you have two Judah, two with the same thing. Is that right? In English. What's missing?
The H.
The H. The H is missing. And of course, you can read verse 38.
Which was the son of Enos, which was the son of Seth, which was the son of Adam, which was the son of God.
Okay. Now, turn to Hebrews chapter 7, verse 14. Now we see Judah or Yehuda. And actually it's Judah. It's not Yehuda. Now look at Hebrews chapter 7. Hebrews chapter 7. And read verse 14. In fact, read verse 1.
For this Melchizedek, king of Salem, priest of the Most High God, who met Abraham returning from the slaughter of the kings and blessed him.
2.
To whom also Abraham gave a tenth part of all, first being by interpretation king of righteousness, and after that also king of Salem, which is king of peace.
That's Shalom. Yeah, this is the same king that's hidden, or I revealed earlier this week in Isaiah chapter 23, of one king after 70 years. Right? Now read verse 3.
Without father, without mother, without descent, having neither beginning of days nor end of life, but made like unto the Son of God, abideth a priest continually.
So anyone who's without father and without mother, that means he is not mortal, he's not human, not terrestrial. That means he have to be celestial, and his father would have to be God. I mean, he'll become the only begotten son, because no one got him, no woman, no man got him. That would explain why no beginning of days, no end of life. Read on now to verse 4. Read verse 14.
For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood.
Now here is Judah again in verse 14. So-called Judah. What's missing?
The H.
The H. This H was hidden in time to become the fifth element and the fifth dimension in space. Follow this now. It's an allegory, it's also literal. This hey missing H. Remember, H is a result of the Hebrew hey, the fifth Hebrew symbol. Hey created H. It represents in time in the future, going through a time zone of the fifth dimension, of the fifth element that's used for time. The theologians of the world purposely left off the H out of translation of Greek into English to come up with only Juda, because they stole the H and left that and applied that to their time. Did you hear me? They stole our dimension of Hay, the fifth element, and used it for themselves by adding 5 days onto their calendar. That means opposed to having 360 days, they added the Hay that they stole from Judah, because they put Judah in the time and fulfillment of prophecy of being in bondage. So as they took Judah captive, all of it, the whole tribe, all of Judah were in captivity and bondage. Not only did they take the gold from Judah, they also took hay from Judah, the fifth element. And as they took the fifth element, they also took the door from Judah and the truth. They took the door and the truth away from Judah. Why is that? Because of the Tetragrammaton. Remember, the Tetragrammaton is 3 Hebrew characters, one position twice. That one position twice is Hey. From right to left is Yod Hey, Wav Hey. From left to right is Hey, Wav Hey, Yod. The first Hey represents the door that's found in John chapter 10, verse 9. I am the door. If any man come in through this door, then he's welcome to come in, but no one, Father, but by me to come in through this door. John chapter 10, verse 9. I'm also the way, the truth, and the life. This is John chapter 14, verse 6. But what they did was they took away the door from Judah, and they also took away the truth by feeding Judah lies and deception. And they took away the door so Judah would find their way back home to the Christ. We left off the H, and they have you with Juda. And then took Judah for so many years, hundreds of years of time. But at the end of that time, I promised that I will return Judah to themselves and return the door at the same time. So since I've returned the door and the truth back to Judah, now you have the H added back onto Judah. And what I did was I took off the time of their calendar and took off the 5 days. I reversed it. So now you have 360 days a year, opposed to 365. And that's promised in what? Matthew 24. It's also in Mark. So go to Mark 13 for a minute. You can see I've already done that. Go to Mark chapter 13. I believe somewhere around 22. See, it was probably Matthew 24 that I shall, but already done. Mark and Mark. And Mark chapter 13. Read start at verse 19.
For in those days shall be affliction, such as was not from the beginning of the creation, which God created unto this time.
See, time? Time is there. What they say to this time? What time? This time meaning that you'll be on their time of 365 days. It could not be referring to the time that you're now because they don't know what time it is. You know it's the last days, but what time is the last days? See, of that day and hour knoweth no man. But the year, you know, because I'm giving you the year. I revealed it in Isaiah chapter 23. The year is after 70 years. And here we are going. We are right now in 70 years. So my promise after 70 years, they're going to visit the harlot. They thought harlot was a bad thing. How could a harlot say that he's going to bless the harlot? See, I'm the harlot because I'm the ones who they hardly want you to know. That's what the harlot is. Harlot. See, they hardly wanted you to know it was me. It's not the harlot that you think it is. But did you know that? No, you didn't know that. Read, continue reading that.
For in those days shall be affliction, such as was not from the beginning of the creation, which God created unto this time.
So what he created? What's the creation? Look at it now. We created time in the beginning. Now you got to go back. Now you get Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. Created heaven and earth, and then you get to verse 3, and he created light out of darkness. It's time. What else you have?
Neither shall be.
Okay. Now read the next verse.
And except that the Lord had shortened those days,
He has already shortened.
no flesh should be saved.
Now, what days were they referring to? The days on their time, the calendar. That's today's on their time. Right? Yeah, read and see. He shortened the days already. Okay.
But for the elect's sake.
See who they were shortened for. The elect's sake.
Whom he have chosen, he have shortened the days.
Already. From 365 back to 360. You got it? Okay. Now we go on, now that we explained that, that took us from the time of Judah of the 360 for that time that's coming up for the 7th month. So now as you continue your count, September, if you remember, September 7th, which according to their calendars, we're now in August, their next month calendar, the next month on their calendar. Then that means when you get to September 7th, which would be a Sunday, right? They'll become the 30th day of the 6th month. You got it?
Yeah.
So what I said I would do, and what have I done?
Shorten the days.
Well, I took off, at the beginning of the year, I took off the 5 days because they took it off. That means in the spring, Judah won't know they're Judah. They just think that they're Juda. They'll think that those in the Middle East are Judah, Jews. Right. But before I come and reveal the Feast of Tabernacles who I am, then I'll in the fall, then I'll let Judah know who they are. That means they took the H off in the spring so they can go forward and to continuously see, spring forward. They mess with their clocks called daylight saving time. They want to keep up with the light in the dark. So they're in the dark, so they try to keep up the light. But what I'm going to do, and what I did was in the fall, I'd bring it back. I put that H back to Judah. Put it right on the end of the A. You have Judah. And then I add the 5 days back. So when you get this September 12th, September 7th, you got to get to September 12th. So you get to September 7th, Sunday, you add 5 days. That'll bring you to sundown Friday, September 12th. Is that right? Okay. And that would be the beginning of the first day of the 7th month, right there. You look at your calendar, you'll see it. And when you count from that day, September 12th, Friday, sundown, you're going to count 10 days. That'll take you somewhere around September 22nd. And then you'll be into the Day of Atonement. Right? Okay. And 5 days after that, from the 10th day of the 7th month, then you should come to September 26th and sundown, which would be the 15th day of the 7th month, and that's the Feast of Tabernacles. And of course, that would be the same date that I came out of the womb on that calendar, of course, is September 27th. But this year will also be the end of 70 years. Do you hear me? Yeah. Go to it. Go to Isaiah chapter 23. Of course, I'm going to read with you. Isaiah chapter 23. We're not going to read the entire chapter, just a subject. We did this earlier. We have a video on this too on YouTube.
And it shall come to pass in that day that Tyre shall be forgotten 70 years.
Now, don't forget that Tyre is actually Sar. That means a rock. That rock is of the celestial lodge. It's also known symbolically as a stone, the chief cornerstone, that the builders rejected. What does that mean? Do you know why the builders rejected it? See, no one knows that. This is, remember, I'm recording this as full of revelations and secrets. The reason why they rejected the stone is because they knew the stone was going to become a harlot. They knew that Judah would be carried away captive. And with Judah would be a stone, a chief cornerstone that they rejected. They cannot accept this stone or this rock to become a slave because they know this is more than a slave. This is the one who's coming to free Judah. So they rejected it. And then no one ever knew why the builders rejected the stone, the chief cornerstone. Because if they put this stone with Judah, then they bring it in damnation and destruction to themselves. It's like, why would you bring dynamite and put it inside your house and leave it laying around so somebody can come and detonate it? That was left for the harlot to do. You're going to find in a minute secrets. No one can tell you this except read verse 15 again.
And it shall come to pass in that day that Tyre shall be forgotten 70 years.
Forgotten is the same as rejected. Forgotten by who? Not forgotten by his father, but forgotten by the slave masters.
Wow.
After 70 years. But see, they don't know when these 70 years will begin. Since this was translated from Hebrew, from the scrolls, right? They didn't know when the 70 years would begin. And the 70 would begin by the sun. The sun is our time. The sun tells time. That means that when the sun comes out of a womb, symbolically, the S-O-N comes out symbolically of the S-U-N, then time will start of 70 years. That would be from 1954. And all of a sudden, according to what?
According to the days of one king.
That one, see, you can't put the king in slavery. They know not to put the king in slavery and bondage. That's why they rejected him. The stone, the rock, Sar. The rock. Because after 70 years, the king was going to start singing. Singing means revealing and announcing to Judah who they are and then who he is in his time. It's the end of the world. It's the last days. Read and see if that's not there. After
the end of 70 years shall Tyre sing as an harlot.
Now he was sing as an harlot, but not be a harlot. Do you hear it? This harlot that you see here in English, the Greeks stole it. They refused to put it in Hebrew translation. Why? Because Judah, the door was closed and they took off the H. They didn't want Judah to know. They closed the door and they took away the truth. That's hey. So the Greeks stole it and put it under their definition under G4205 that they call pornos, almost like porno. Pornos. That's again a Strong's G4205 pornos. That means, you got it? That's what the first one they give you. They give it as a man who prostitutes his body to another's lust for hire. That lust for hire is in the Mika. You got it? But that's not the meaning. This portenos, it takes you to another meaning. On the harlot. So you look up the harlot. How many times you see harlot that appears in the 40? So I gave you H40 what?
4205.
Yeah, but that's because that's the door you went through. The door you went through was H40
205.
205. But the second door is what you want to go through. That's the first door you go through. That's their door. The second door they took you got to go through, which is the door of truth. So that door is going to be found in the G4097, 4097. Pebrasco, he Greek, Pebrasco, or Pibascu. You got it? A G4097. And that means of the master to whom one is sold as a slave. That's the harlot. And it also means of one bribed to give himself up wholly to another's will, which is a harlot for Judah. He gave himself up. He bribed Judah and gave himself up wholly to another's will, his father's will. He gave himself up to become his father's will, to elect Judah. Again, that's under G4097. It's there. You can look at the meaning. This still with time. Who would that be? The Feast of Tabernacle. The Tabernacle would do that. I have to give this time doing this recording our lesson today. I read today so you can know how close we are to the 70 years are up. That means 70 years, according to this prophecy, will be up at sundown September 26, 2025 on that calendar. I mean, it began where? It began September 26, 2024 on that calendar. The 70 years. You have to govern this by time. Time is ruled by the sun. So you got to go by the time the sun came out of the womb during this era of prophecy. And that'll bring you to the flesh. That's going to bring you to the FL of the fluid. That's where we began. That's where we're going to begin. Now you got the time out of the way. Now you got to go to the fluid of the FL. Now you're going to write to the top of the paper flesh. FLESH. You got it?
Yes.
Flesh. Now in parentheses, you're going to put FL-ESH. You got to follow this now. It's going to be a mind blower. And I think I'm doing this in secret, but privately. Matthew 24, 3. The disciples came up to him privately. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, with that said, go to John chapter 1. Read verse 1.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. The Word was God.
Do you know what you just read? First of all, we'll go back a few years. My first reveal that this W was placed there opposed to the L. Why? Because it was transliterated so that I can protect the ORD. W was placed there, which is the English's results of Wab, of Hebrew, the 6 Hebrew alphabet. So you got 5 and 6. We write in order. 5, I replaced it after the A of Judah. I've also taken it away and added in the time. Now we go to the 6th one, which is Wab. Wab is placed there in front of ORD to protect the ORD. That's a circle of righteousness and divinity. You got it? Write it down. The O is for the circle of the special lodge. Now, you know how many are in the circle of the special lodge? That answer is in Psalms chapter 68 and verse 17. There are thousands of angels. Special lodge. So the O is for special lodge. The R is for righteousness. In parentheses, the remnant. The remnant. It's the R, righteousness of the remnant. And the D is divinity, divine, divinity. So the W is placed there for that, opposed to the L. That was there before. That's why it was the word. In the beginning was the word. You got it? But what was the word? Lord. In the beginning, the Lord was there. It became nothing but matter. I'm gonna get to that. The Lord was matter. In the beginning was the word. Why? It was Lord. Why? Because the word was with God. And the proof of what I just told you, the truth is the last part. And the word was God. I mean, the Lord was God. Being protected now by W, word, which is nothing but matter. Okay. I'm going to explain that in a minute. That means what? You have FLESH. That's all you can see. You don't see that FL is merely a suffix. FL is a suffix for fluid. Now that means I'm going to. Here's how you spell that: FLORUIT. That means I'm going to probably have someone to edit this recording, and I'm going to share it. That means when you go and find a search box in your Google online, you go to Google and you put in your search box FL suffix. Right? And all over the Merriam-Webster's. But the first one you want is an abbreviation for fluid. And you spell that from left to right, FLORUIT. Follow this now. And you also find it in your Wikipedia. Fluid. FLORUIT. That's from left to right. FLORUIT. Fluid. And it is defined in Latin as flourished. So you look at flesh, which is the first 2 letters, which is actually a suffix. And the first 2 letters of FL is also represents the abbreviation of Florida. But for now, we're dealing with fluid. You got it? Florida. And it also denotes a date or period during which a person was known to have been alive or active in the flesh. The etymology of this word is it represents the third person singular, perfect, active, indicative of the Latin verb Florio means to bloom. You got it? More specifically, it often is used in genealogy and historical writing when a person's birth or death dates are unknown, but some other evidence exists that indicates when they were alive. This is in your Wikipedia. Don't forget, these are the first two letters that you thought were flesh. This is also in correspondence to Matthew 24. How so? Well, when you go to your concordance and you type in, and you go in your search box and you type in flesh. We out of harlot now. That means a harlot is also flesh. You can't have a harlot unless it's flesh. Some think it's a prostitute woman selling the body. That means this flesh began in the beginning. Did it say in the beginning? All right. We hadn't gotten to verse 14 yet in John. So we got to go back to the beginning in Genesis. You got it? Which means what? Here's what it means. It means that, and we're not going to go to it because you already have your nose. I'm not going to give it to the world. Let them figure it out. That's for the fig tree. Figure it out. Right. It means in the beginning of chapter 3, when the serpent approached the woman, she did not know that she was naked. Why? Because she didn't have a body yet. She was still matter. Let me back up for a moment because you got to know what that is. Let's go. Let's back up for a moment. Go back into your concordance. You got to hold on to something now. It's gonna get kind of deep here. It's gonna get thick to you. May need a gas mask. It's gonna get some heavy smoke coming. I'm cautioning you. I'm warning you. I'm actually warning you. Go to the word. Go to your concordance and type in word. W-O-R-D that you thought was word, actually Lord. The first word you're going to come to is Genesis chapter 15, verse 1. It's found in H 1697. H 1697. And it says speech, word, speaking thing, or utterance, etc. But what they did not want you to know, what they tried to have was the last one, number 4, that they have in here, matter. Write that down. M-A-T-T-E-R, matter. You got it? Now, when you go back, you don't need no more. After you find that matter under what? H 1697. Yeah. You're gonna look up a word, and you can. It's actually 697 times Bible, the King James version. Come across many different spirit verses and definitions. But this word, see, in the beginning was the word, but before the word, it was matter. M-A-T-T-E-R. So when you go back now and substitute word in your search box, in your concordance, and put in M-A-T-T-E-R, that means that with this vessel, the celestial vessels, were only made of matter. That means when the serpent approached Eve in the garden, she was just a matter of a victim to the serpent. And she didn't know she was naked. What you mean naked? That means she had a body. It's opposite. It's hidden opposite. I wrote a book, The Oppositionist. That means when she thought that she had a body, she actually was naked because the body she had was just matter. that matter became flesh, and she had a body. Now she's naked. She's naked out of her original self. Now she looks human.
Revelation.
I told you, you got to hold on to something tight now. It's Revelation secrets. I'm gonna prove it. That means she had a spirit of matter, and so did the man have a spirit of matter that was given to them from God. And he also, at the same time, gave them a body so they could dwell among the planet. It would look strange to people. If they walked around here looking like we look, without this nakedness, then they'll run from us and say, "Whoa, aliens!" But now we have this vessel, and we are naked with this vessel from our original selves. It's matter. Now let's prove it. Look up matter. It's only 3 times in the Bible that you can. I'm going to show you. The first place of matter is in Genesis chapter 24 in the Bible, verse 9, which said, "And the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abraham, his master, and swear to him concerning the matter." And guess what? The same definition, the same meaning, H1697 takes right back to matter. The same matter. And Genesis 29:9. This master, this particular matter takes you to G3056. So look, scroll down into you got to go to the Greek. You got to go to the New Testament, because remember, they closed the door. So this G3056 takes you to a doctrine of teaching and the doctrines of God, the mental faculty of thinking. That's why he says, stay away from the tree that have the knowledge of good and evil, because he also has matter, but he was naked. See, God does know that if you eat from this tree, you'll find out that you become God yourself. And you'll also find out that you're naked from the mental faculty of thinking. That's under G3056. So they had to walk around like the rest of those that would walk around from Genesis chapter 1, creating man our own image. See, when we created man our own image, in the image of God created him, male and female created them, they would walk around with flesh, but they were naked. That's why they were told to be fruitful and multiply. They knew they were naked. But the man and the woman that he put in the midst of the garden, they didn't know they were naked. He didn't want them to know that.
Right.
But they would walk around like everyone else, but know it because they were in the midst of the garden. They didn't see everybody else outside the garden, except the serpent, who was also naked, out of his original self. So in order to find that out, let's prove it. Look at Job chapter 32 and look at verse 18 and read that.
For I am full of matter.
Explain that. What do you mean you're full of matter? What matter? Matter what? A matter of fact? What do you mean you're full of matter? And what else it says?
The spirit within me constraineth me.
Right. So the spirit inside that vessel that's full of matter that was made flesh. That means, see, flesh and blood, all flesh and blood are not the same. Because there's no such thing as flesh anyway. What you see is FL and then ESH. No such word as flesh. There's 2 different meanings. Let's prove that. Remember, you have H1697, which is the same as the word, and to prove it. Now go back to Genesis for a moment. Go back for reference of Genesis chapter 1 and read verse 3.
And God said,
God did what?
and God said,
That's utterance. He can utter something as to who he is in a matter with his voice and make it happen. And say what?
let there be light.
So God can say something, tell you it's going to happen, and then make it happen. It'll be. Like it's going to be an earthquake or a bridge going to collapse, or and then make it happen. Let that be, and that is. By utterance. Because before the flesh, it was just a word. It was just utterance. Before the word, it was just another being who looked like an alien from outer space. Before the flesh. So you got the celestial being over here in the matter, and over here, made flesh, look like a human being. I'm going to show you. But first, we got to finish with the FL. You have FL, but for abbreviation for Florida, that means when the Son of Man comes back in the last days, when the Son of God comes back, he's going to come back in a state that abbreviates FL. It's the only state out of 50 that has FL. It's the only state of 50 that begins with F. Show me another one. Why? Because the word going to come back in the United States to be made flesh. Where? In Florida. It'll come back in Florida, through a womb, in Florida become flesh. Under the FLORUIT. So you got the FL, abbreviation for Florida. Now you got the I. The I is a what? A period. The I is a period. A date or period during which a person was known to have been alive or the fluid. You got to go to the abbreviation. Now we're into the meaning of fluid. That's the I, the FL, right? You got the O, which is or, O-R. FLOOR, or the I of a period of time that was known to have been alive, a man, an active, a person. Now go with D. D equals of during. The D, during. And A is of alive or active. That means you have FLORIDA, Florida. You got it? Again, remember, that's under, you find it on the Wikipedia. So what is the ish? Well, let's go back to John chapter 1 for a moment now. And let's reveal verse 14. Actually, you in that too. Remember John in verse 6, there was a man sent. Read it, verse 6.
There was a man sent from God whose name was John.
And they didn't know who he was. That's why verse 5 was into effect. Read verse 5.
And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not.
And they are still in darkness. All of those who thought that John was the Son of God are in darkness, and they comprehended it not. Why? What did they not comprehend? Isaiah 9:6. They couldn't comprehend Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6. Why? Because the first part, unto us a child is born. That child born was born to the Mitchells and born to them slaves. Unto us a child is born. Born who was given to Hugh Lyon Mitchell Sr. and Dr. Pearl Leatherman Mitchell. That's their child. Born into them, us, in the United States, us, U.S., United States. As a child. Then you got a comma. But unto us, a son is given. Common sense, them being their darkness, comprehended or not, if they had any kind of light in their common sense of darkness and could comprehend, they would know that that could not possibly be the Son of God, and he he was disintegrated. That vessel was destroyed. It was cremated during the May of 2007, the month of May. But they are such a fictitious mind, a fantasized mind, missing the H of the door of truth, until they think that it was the sun. But that's why they became JUDA, and they're gonna stay JUDA because they want to stay out in darkness. They don't want to come into the H of the light. Don't forget, you can't spell light without the H. LIGHT. So they're gonna stay out in darkness because they comprehended it not. Why? Read verse 7.
The same came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe.
Might believe, because all of them are not going to believe. Some do believe. The book that you see in back of me to my right, to the left of the screen, is a book that John witnessed of the light. That's my book that I wrote, and John witnessed it and he signed it. I bear witness of the light. Because verse 8 tells you what?
He was not that light.
John was not that light. But they think he was that light. Why? Because his skin was light. So they think because his skin was light, like complexion, they thought that was that light. His skin brighter than mine. See, he's bright, and I'm not bright. I'm bronze. I'm like fine brass. But John was light, but he was not that light. He was not that light as the light skin of the white people. But he almost looked that way, but he was not that light. He was that light. He was still dark enough to be black. Right. But was sent to bear witness of that light. That right?
Yeah.
Read verse 9.
That was the true light.
That was the true light, which lighted some man that cometh to the world.
Which lighted every man.
Every man that comes to the world, not mankind. It's not meant for mankind. Mankind are those in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26. Our image. And those who they know is not for them, that light, they want to take others with them in darkness and keep them in their light of deception. That's why they closed the door and took away the H. Why? Because verse 10 says what? He
was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not.
Who's that? That's not John. Everyone knew John. Everybody knows, quote, Yahweh ben Yahweh back in the days. But who knows the light? Not realizing that John is the witness and not that light. But they don't know that. The world was made by who? Him who they don't know. That's proven in John chapter 14, verse 17. They don't know him, but you know him. Right. Who? The angels that also came down to take on a body but became naked. They too look like aliens.
Why?
That's why it says, be not forgiven and say strangers. But you know, Robert Dean, you play a video, Robert Dean revealed them back in this interview. I believe that interview was probably taken back in the 80s or whenever. And he told him that he became a snitch, a whistleblower. That I saw this documents, and what I saw, my life is never the same. You can look at that clip if you'd like, and you hear him say that. And during that time, you heard him say, there are 4 different types, and there's one group that looks exactly like us.
Well, Don, it began for me in 1963 when I was assigned to the Supreme Headquarters Allied Powers in Europe. I arrived in the summer of '63 and I was assigned to the Operations Division. I was further assigned to what we call SHOC, the War Room, the Supreme Headquarters Operations Center. And at that time I was given a cosmic top secret clearance, which was and still is the highest level of security access that NATO has. When I was assigned to the War Room, I learned that a study had been initiated in 1961, and everybody was talking about it. They were gossiping about it. And the subject was UFOs, and that intrigued me a bit. When that study was concluded in 1964, and it was published, and I was still working in the War Room at that time, I had access to this document. I had a chance to read it. And having been exposed to it, I must tell you honestly that my life has never, ever quite been the same. Because I read first-hand reports, verifiable NATO military material that indicated that the UFOs were not only real, but they represented something far beyond anything I had ever imagined before. When the study was concluded in '64, they concluded that there were 4 different groups apparently coming and visiting us. Out of those 4 different groups, one group looked exactly like we do, so much so that they could sit beside you in a restaurant or in an airplane or in a theater, and you'd never know. And that particular point bothered the military guys a lot. The point being that some of these people from somewhere could be walking up and down the corridors of SHAPE headquarters, or they could be walking up and down the corridors of the Pentagon. One day at lunch, a lieutenant colonel made the remark, he says, Jesus, do you realize they could even be in the White House?
And that group of those who are naked. Right. Because they look like them. That means they're naked. Naked without the truth. They're naked. They have no knowledge of nothing. They're naked. See, that nakedness doesn't mean no clothes. That's why, oh my goodness. Turn to Micah chapter 1. You want to know who Micah is? Let me give you a little bit more secret. Micah is the same being that he was yesterday, same today, and forever. See, at one time, if you see Micah the way he is, you'll run. You'll say, whoa, and I put it on Facebook. Whoa, he got the same clothes. He got So you're looking at me in this vessel, as you see. I look like you. What if I look like an alien that you think is an alien and my true self? Would you run from me? And they paint in your mind, would you run from me then? Hey, look. Well, I warned the world, I left record in the 7 seals. The first seal I left record that I will go stripped and naked. Look at verse 8, I believe. I'll read it. Micah chapter 1, verse 8. Therefore I will wail and howl. See H-O-W-L again? The hay in front of the owl of wisdom. I will go stripped and naked. Strip me of my holy robe, my holy garments. I'll be stripped of my celestial self. I become naked and be placed in a vessel like this. That way I will make a wailing like the dragons, how they look, and I will be as mourning as the owls do. I will look like everyone else. Now back to John chapter 1. The world was made by him in verse 10. And the world knew him not. He came into his own in verse 11, and his own received him not. I'm not following Micah. That book was given to an organization at one time that was known as the Peace Foundation. And I told him who I am during that time, back in the 1992. I told him in late September, early October, I left a recording and told them who I am. And they took the book out of circulation. Said, we don't accept them. Here's a fulfillment. In John chapter 1, verse 11, he came into his own, left recording, his own received him not, took the book out of circulation. But those who got the book, those who came with him far from beyond this planet, from everlasting. Read verse 12.
But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God.
Just like he is. They're not like he is, but they become the sons of his celestial God. They come from another planet too. That what?
Even to them that believe on his name.
Right. They believe on the name. The name is not Yahshua. The name is not Micah Yahweh. Mem Yod Kav Yudawave. It's not that. I left record in Revelation chapter 19, verse 12, that I will bring a name that no one would know except me. Reverse. See, those who believe, right, on his name would be those who came with him with the name from another galaxy, another planet. And they'd be naked, just like him, stripped and naked, looking like humans. looking like we could sit right next to them on a jet and you won't even know it. They could be walking around the Pentagon. You wouldn't know it. Why? Because they're naked. Yeah. Reverse 13 so you can know. Because they would be what?
Which were born, not of blood.
These people are not born of blood. These beings, these celestial beings are not born of blood. Nor of what?
Nor of the will of the flesh.
They're not born of the will of the flesh. Ooh, I want a baby. I want a baby boy. Oh, you got a baby girl. I don't, are you my mama? You my daddy? No, you're not. Because what? Nor what?
Nor of the will of man.
Man had nothing to do with this. They were created before they came to this planet. Because it was by what?
But of God.
Of God. They are God's children, God's angels. You can find that in Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 1, and Psalms chapter 68, verse 17. And I am among them as in Mount Sinai. Sinai.
Yeah.
Read verse 14, see what happened.
And the word was made flesh.
Since it was made flesh, what was it before it was flesh? It was matter. It was matter. And what is matter? I told you to go to your dictionary. When you go to your dictionary, look at matter. You say matter is physical substance in general, as distinct from mind and spirit. In physics, that which occupies space and possesses rest mass, especially as distinct from energy. So you got a silhouette of energy taking off the nakedness, and you'll see energy inside. Take the suit off, nothing but energy. But then the energy and the matter, which is the word, will be made flesh to dwell among men and women, and you won't even know who he is, except those who have accepted him and believe on his name. Why? Because they have a name like he has a name. He gave them a name as he has a name. Matter. So this word actually is an allegory and a simile of matter. Never was a word. Why? Because it was the Lord. That's why it was God. That's why in the beginning was the word. The word was with God. But the word was God because what? What was it? Matter. It was physics. It was energy. And it became flesh. It was made flesh. See, it didn't become, you got to read that again. Read 14 again.
And the word was made
flesh. It
was
made flesh. It didn't become flesh. It was made flesh. And a man and woman had nothing to do with it. That means the God, the Father, the God of the Son, put him in a womb, it made flesh. It would be made flesh. Right. He made it flesh. If it didn't go in the womb, you couldn't be around me right now. Do you hear what I'm saying? And that means I will reveal it in the last days when summer is nigh. I'm like, reveal all of it today, you get some more tomorrow. But the last thing I'll reveal today, before we break it up, is what you thought was ESH. You thought the flesh, ESH, ish. The ish. So what is the ish? What does that mean? ESH, the ish. What does that mean? When you look up ish in definition, it means fire. That means the energy was made of a fire. Sometimes it looks like ash, but it's ish. Right? Ish. Translated as fire. It also used to present divine power. That's the Hebrew, ish. So where do you find it? Go in your search box. You got to split it up, go to plain. PLAN. You won't find that in your King James Version, but it's there. How about body? Husband? Yeah. Well, type in husband. See, you study and you got to. You got husband? Okay. That's the ish. That means, okay, husband. Right? It's actually under H792. Is that what you have? No. I'm going to show you what really was hidden. You have H376. Ish. That says great man, huh? Okay, now do this. Type in ESH in your concordance search box. And look for it in strong. Look for it in the King James Version. No, huh? No. We got what you have on your papers to the top. You have FLESH.
Yeah.
And how else you wrote it?
FL dash
In parentheses.
FL dash ESH.
And you thought all this time that was flesh. Hmm?
That's what we thought.
That what you thought? You're not the only ones. The whole world thought that. But I hear it. In other words, I'm going to repeat as we get ready to close this side of the bank of the river. I hear it because the theologians of the world would come along as thieves before me. See, before me are thieves and robbers. You got it? But I made sure and hid it in the 7 seals. Now, we're the 7 seals. Micah. Right? But I hid it to be as I am, as the great man am. You found husband, great man? Yeah. Okay. So I hid it to be as the great man am. In the 7 seals. So I had to what? There's a God called Balaam? Hmm?
Yeah.
Well, it's in Micah. Let's go to Micah chapter, I believe, chapter 3. Or maybe it's 2. Let's see. That's the seal. Remember, all 7 chapters of Micah represents the 7 seals. Balaam, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you go to your strong recording, type in Balaam. All hidden. BALAAM. Right? 61 times. The same meaning, same name. Was a messenger. Town in Manasseh. Right? See, not of people. You get it? Not of people. It's all coded. So since Balaam, it's the name that you're focusing on, not the person. So since it's not a people, Micah chapter 6, verse 5. O my people, remember now what Balak, king of Moab, consulted, and what Balaam, the son of Beor, answered him from Shittim unto Gilgal, that ye may know the righteousness of the Lord. So how could anything negative be in this if you're going to know the righteousness of the Lord through this name? Because the name, see, I am there, am. See, the last 2 were, write it down, right? BALAAM. And what do you have? Right? Again. What do you have when you write that? Write down, you got it? Now just write down B. You got B-A-L-A-A-M?
Yeah.
Now write down Ba. B-A. You got it?
Yeah.
Now write again A-L. What you got now? Ball. When you look that up, you can call it. It's going to take you to a high place, a high mountain apart. That's what it's going to take you to. So what you got again? Spell it again.
Last one.
Yeah.
B-A-A-L.
Okay. B-A-A-L, right?
Yeah.
On your paper. These are your notes. We just welcoming those outside the world, outside the lodge to join us in our study today. And we're stuck with E-S-H of the F-L. Put them together, you got flesh. Right?
Yeah.
So you have B-A-A-L. Now, on the left of that, not the right, you don't want to go after the L. Go to the B. That's the first letter, right?
Yeah.
Now you're gonna go from right to left. So put an H there. After the H, put an S there. After the S, put an E. Did they give you ish?
Yeah.
Okay, now when you put those two together, your concordance. When you put together from left to right, E-S-H, B-A-L-L, no, E-S-H, B-A-A-L. When you put that in there, you know what it's going to take you to? It's going to take you to 1 Chronicles chapter 8 and verse 33 to Ishbaal. It's going to take you to H792, a man of Baal, right? However, you want the etymology. The etymology would be hidden under H376, Ish, that takes you to a great man that became flesh, that was made flesh, with the F-L-E-S-H. So the F-L, that means this great man would be in Florida. F-L-Ish. You can do that. That's what we're going to do for today. You got more coming. We'll save it for tomorrow morning. Because we got to show you more the great man would. See the E-S-H? You found it under H792? Okay, did you know that H792 also takes you to a great man, which would be Enosh? And Enosh is here with me today. So we'll save this for tomorrow. We're joining our supplements for tomorrow. Right now, I just wanted to bring to your attention that you're naked. All of you, you're naked. Now let's close it up with that question. Let's prove it. Go to Genesis chapter 3. Let's prove it. Who told you? Genesis chapter 3. Now you got the mystery. No 1,000 years knew the mystery. That's even hundreds that they translated this. Genesis chapter 3. Read verse 1. That was 1.
Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made.
Made him into what he is today, what he has become today. Right now, Washington, D.C. over his own. What?
And he said unto the woman,
He's still saying it to the woman. He even been convicted 34 counts talking to a woman. What?
yeah, have God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden?
Read it too.
And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden,
But
of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
4.
And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die.
Why?
For God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened.
And then you'll see that you don't look like everybody else. You'll find that you look like those others out there. You shall be what?
And ye shall be as God.
I mean, what did gods look like then?
Right.
Aliens.
Exactly.
Knowing what?
Knowing good and evil.
6.
And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
7.
And the eyes of them both were open,
What? And what?
and they knew that they were naked.
Well, how's that? See, now you got to go back to common sense for a moment, right? And if you look at that today as in layman's terms, that you're going to get down and you're going to get naked, then it wouldn't make any sense if they had to get naked to do what they do, and now they're going to get up and know they're naked. Or they get up and put on clothes. I'm done. Yeah, that was good, wasn't it? Yeah, put on my clothes. So how did they didn't know they were naked? After they did what they did. Because now they have where I get this body from? Read and see the mystery. Read on. What?
And the eyes of them both were open.
Wow. I mean, I look. What's this?
Yeah, right.
I used to look like that. I mean, I was wondering what. I thought I was supposed to look like this. I mean, I'm supposed to look like that. Like, they say aliens? Why I look like this? So what happened?
And they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons.
So they had to figure out what they had to do in order to leave. Fig leaves. See, they figured out what happened to them. Now they're going to figure out how to leave the garden to go with the rest of those who look like that. Together. Right? Verse 8.
And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the
They didn't
garden.
see him, they just heard his voice. I mean, he was speaking to other people, other beings, rather. But they heard his voice hiding, looking behind the bushes to see if he can see them. And what?
In the cool of the day.
Uh-huh.
And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden.
Why did they have to do that? Read verse 9.
And the Lord God called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou?
10.
And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid.
Why?
Because I was naked.
What?
And I hid myself.
Well, verse 11.
And he said,
Who told thee that thou was naked? Who told you had a body like everybody else on the planet? That thou eaten of the tree that I gave him a body? There I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat. And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to me, be with me, she gave me of the tree. I did not eat, but that don't mean she made him naked. Right? Okay, go back to chapter 2. What's one chapter back? What would that mean? Verse 19.
Adam gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found an help meet for him.
21.
And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof.
Now, so what did he do? He closed up the flesh that he gave him, opposed to what he looked like, instead of what he was all originally. The flesh. That means both of them became, they became one flesh, opposed to how they looked before you take out the rib. See, it looked like, whoa, the big eyes. That's what it looked like before this.
Right.
And after he took the rib from the man, he made two of them. Instead of making them look like that continually, he gave them flesh.
Yeah.
He clothed up the flesh instead thereof, and not what they look like as the word thereof, not the matter. See, they no longer look like matter, because they were matter before the operation. But after the operation, instead of clothing them up the way they were, he clothed the flesh instead. So here's how you go. And they became naked. Read and see. Read the next verse.
And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man, made he a woman,
Right.
and brought her unto the man.
23.
And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones.
After he woke up. He became looking like this after he woke up. Because after that, he was stripped naked and his mind, everything was gone. Didn't even realize after being under anesthesia, not looking the same as he was before he went under the knife. It became normal. And then he looked over at her and said, what? Read.
And Adam said, this
Yeah.
is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman,
What?
because she was taken out of man.
And here go the bomb. Here go the blockbuster you've been reading for hundreds, even thousands of years, even since 1611. And no one could have figured this out until I reveal it right now. Read the next verse.
Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh.
25.
And they were both naked.
Naked with this. What is this? And was not ashamed of looking like this, opposed to looking like the big eyes. Man. That's why they were not ashamed, because they didn't know. They thought they were supposed to look like this and not like, whoa. So who told you you were naked? And could you imagine what God must have looked like then? Tell them that. He obviously didn't look like they were looking, because he was still looking the way he looked. That's why no man has seen God and lived. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that with the world today as it's deep. It goes deeper than that. I only gave you a precept. We'll do it. I don't know if we're gonna share with them tomorrow, but I gave you the foundation. I thought I'd share with the world, let them know I'm here. All right. All right. Well, we'll see you tomorrow. But ye, I don't know if we're gonna see ye at all anymore. I'm not sure.